The Liberty University men's lacrosse team is back on the field preparing for another great season. The team has already competed in a scrimmage and won against SELC rival Virginia Tech. The team now looks toward the spring season and a potential SELC Conference Championship. And joining me today is the assistant coach for the Liberty men's lacrosse team, Mike Zumpano. Mike, thanks for sitting down with us today.
It's good to be here.
So back in the spring, you guys fell to the Gamecocks in the SELC quarterfinals. Unfortunately, by one goal, even though you had previously beat them back in March. But you're looking to improve on the season. Kind of talk about that loss and what you guys have learned from that and prepping for this season.
Yeah, it was a tricky 3-goal loss. We had two of them pretty much when it mattered. Got to play them 3 times last year, and they've been a tremendous program in the last several years, and have really figured out a winning formula the last couple of years, and have been a good opponent to measure up against. But I think we've been growing in a lot of ways on our own. We've really instituted a new culture this past couple of years. I think Coach McQuillan has done a great job of taking the lead on, and I think we've continued to develop and grow in our own right, and sometimes it doesn't always happen the way you want it to, but I think we're excited about what our opportunities continue to be each and every year. So I think we've come into this year with a little bit different focus, a new group of guys that maybe don't have quite the experience of what we've seen in the past, but we've got a great group of leadership and guys that really contributed to our success in the last couple of years, and are just going to be able to step into a new and more engaging roles. So yeah, we're excited.
Speaking of that growth for your team, a 37-member roster, a lot of great incoming guys that are adding depth to the team, while also a great group of leadership for the guys. Talk about the team's growth and what you're excited to see this season from this strong group of young guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit surprising. I think we knew we were going to be a little bit younger this year, especially speaking from a defensive perspective. I knew we had 3 seniors that graduated that were 3-year starters for us, so those were holes that we knew we were going to need to fill, but having guys step up into those roles that were pretty much, we don't really lose anything in terms of talent. Like I said before, just more of an experience type of thing. But I think we kind of pick up right where we left off in a lot of respects, and especially I speak mostly on the defensive side, but guys like Reagan Pritchett, who played pretty consistently and really even worked himself into a starting role coming into the national tournament last year, was a big asset for us to be able to retain again this year. And he's a senior, and I think with him and some of the resurgence and kind of newcomers coming in as juniors with Garrett Cooper and Stephen Previtt and Mitch Gorski. Other guys on the LSM like Andrew Lazina and Jake Barber, guys that I think have contributed quite a bit over the last couple of years, but are stepping into bigger roles. So I think we're excited about the direction and the growth that we've seen from at least from the defensive perspective, and I think offensively we pick up where we left off too. I think we've got some really good talented kids, some great seniors, with Carter and Caleb really leading the way. But some really nice role players really stepping into bigger roles. Ryan O'Connor and Cam Carter to name a couple. But I think we're primed to be able to make be right back where we were in the hunt this year. So
big thing for the fall season. You guys were just able to hold off SELC rival the Hokies down in Virginia Tech, and solid game right there. One of the big things you guys were looking for was just kind of holding them off and seeing where the guys are going to be for the spring season, and just kind of talk about that first big scrimmage and just trying out new guys and seeing what they're going to be able to offer for the team.
Playing against Virginia Tech is always a good litmus test because they're a rival, and we know we're going to see them year in and year out. They're right down the road, and it's a good chance for us to really see where our current team's at. I think we were pretty happy with our performance early on in the game, and things kind of got away from us in the second half, maybe a little more than what we expected. But I think there was a resiliency that shined through all in all, we were able to hold off Virginia Tech, which is a team that we have a tremendous amount of respect for. They've had a lot of success, and they've got a lot of new pieces this year themselves. So, but we're excited about where we're at in the division, or the direction of our of even opponents in our division. So, yeah, it's going to be it was a good way to finish off a fall and leave a good taste in our mouth, hopefully going into the spring. So.
And then one other big exciting news from club sports this year is your second inductee into the Hall of Fame, Attack Kurt Tobias, one of your fan favorites, I know. And how exciting is that for the lacrosse team to have their second inductee in there, and for a strong guy that brought a lot of depth to the lacrosse team in his years here?
I got caught last night watching a little bit of old-time film and just kind of maybe just living in the glory days a little bit. But, yeah, no, Kurt's always been, aside from the personal relationship and as close as we've been, Kurt's always been a guy that I think any player can really look up to and recognize from our program and want to emulate the way that he played, not only the way he played on the field, but I think the things that he represented off the field, the character and really the environment and culture that he contributed to. That class of guys was really special, and I was obviously a guy that I got to graduate with, and some other guys are part of that too. So yeah, it'll be a fun weekend. Can't wait to have him down and try not to embarrass him too much, or maybe even embarrass myself. But should be fun. Should be fun.
Well, Mike, thanks again for always sitting down with us. We're super excited for your guys' spring season and really looking forward to seeing what the guys bring to the plate this year.
Thanks, Ed.